We are joined today by Adrienna DiCioccio, who is leading a very spirited campaign to try to save social media. Adrienna, thank you for joining the show.
Absolutely.
Adrienna, first of all, where are you from and how did you get involved with the political end of social media?
Well, I am from Buffalo, New York, and I've been involved with politics for a while. It's been a very high interest of mine, conservative retrospect, actually. And I thought, talking with a few people about ideas, wanting to get back at how Twitter is shadow banning and suppressing like our free speech and our voices, we thought, signing out for a day or maybe two would be a good way to get back with, giving them their numbers going down on top of that. But what we wanted to really do was affect them in ad revenues, boycott companies that are paying for ads, how Twitter gets their money, because that is how we're really going to, put a dent in their pocket or even get a wince out of them with this boycott.
Hmm.
So 2/18/19, we decided we are going to log out of Twitter for 48 hours starting at midnight. And on top of that, like I said, we are going to be blocking ads and promotions that we see on our timeline. YouTube, Google, Twitter, Facebook, all the social media ads that can be blocked should be blocked. You can also, go into your Twitter settings, go into muted words and type in companies like Microsoft, Dell, T-Mobile, any company that uses Twitter for ad revenue, we should be putting in there to block on top of infrared settings and everything that Twitter uses for algorithms against, hashtags that we post. They put with our hashtags and everything that we use, they use that algorithm to put ads on our timeline. And that's how they make money. So we want to focus on getting their ad revenue down, and we want to sign out on those 2 days for 48 hours to try and even get a wince out of them. You know what I mean?
Hmm. How much money, Adrienna, do you think that they could lose over the course of 2 days if a lot of people do this? And also, how many people do you expect to get involved with this? Because, there's still a lot of time.
See, okay. It's not the 2 days that we're focused on where they're going to lose money. They're going to lose money every time we block a promotion or we boycott any company that is using ad space. The 2 days that we're logging out is kind of like a silent protest where we're standing together against their censorship because they are censoring at a political bias and it's not right. And every day people are contacting me saying they're losing followers, they're losing views on their videos, they're losing retweets, likes, comments. And if they're not even saying anything wrong or against the TOS terms that Twitter posts. So we want to just stand together and make a loud, you know, effect on what they are doing. And coinciding with the logout, I am planning a protest in New York City at Twitter headquarters with Laura Loomer. I spoke with her this morning. We are in the process of getting the permits from the police officers in New York right now. Once I have more details on that, I'll give them. But for now, Laura's working on getting the permits. And so signing out 2/18 midnight is what we're doing. And then once I have those details set, I'll give them to you.
Now, you see Twitter Jack, and he's got the beard, and, he's a distinctive-looking individual. Why do you think it is that Twitter Jack is just so dedicated to censoring conservatives or patriots or independent people on his platform? I mean, what is his motivation, do you think?
Honestly, I think the motivation comes from the buyers, the stockholders. I don't think Jack is really in control of what really goes on. But Laura did tell me this morning that Jack is aware of her handcuffing herself to Twitter headquarters. And he was asked, so what are your thoughts on people retaliating against Twitter and their TOSs and what Twitter is doing politically against any user that has a conservative view? And Jack responded with, he likes the fight. He thinks and respects the fight of people fighting back against Twitter and trying to make a point that our voice and our thoughts are important. So it's kind of funny that Jack would say that he respects the fight against, his own platform that is going out there and publicly censoring people for no reason. Like Laura Loomer, Alex Jones, Roger Stone, people like that. Those are big names that are being censored that should not be being censored. People like Louis Farrakhan, who writes whatever he wants on Twitter, calling Jewish people termites. Why aren't these people getting suspended? Why aren't those accounts or those IP numbers, blocked. It's just, I think the Twitter shareholders and the people who are buying stocks in the company are really who run the show. So.
Well, I think that they are concerned about the fact that the greatest tweeter of all time happens to be their least favorite person, President Donald Trump. And obviously, as we're going into the 2020 campaign, I think we're going to see a whole lot more censorship. Adrienna, what is your message to the president? And can you remind us again what days that you are going to be logging out of Twitter as part of this protest?
So pretty funny. We are actually logging out on President's Day, which is February 18th, 2019. We are going to log out at midnight for 48 hours. So we'll come back on at midnight, the 20th. And if my hopes and everything works out for the protest, we are going to coincide it on the 20th in New York City at Twitter headquarters. But I don't want to be quoted on that yet because we want to get the permits and everything is done right. If I could say something to the president, it would be, Mr. Trump, it's really important that censorship is stopped. It's important for both sides, Republican, Democratic, anybody. It does not matter race, creed, color. It's important that our words and our liberty of speech is intact, and we are not going to be relinquished from that. And I think it is the most important, especially for the 2020 election coming up, because a lot of the people that are being censored are Trump supporters. So with that being said, Mr. President, it is very important that you acknowledge the situation at hand and, get this dilemma stopped.
Adrienna, thank you so much for joining the show, and we will check back in with you before the protest in New York City.
Yes, thank you. I'm sorry for the camera view. My computer was just out of whack right now, so I got to try to fix that after. But thank you for having me. I'm very appreciative, and let's get in contact before the boycott.
All right, thanks a lot.
Have a good one.